What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of 5-Minute Mixing Tips. Today we're going to be talking about how to pan your drums to give a nice realistic live sound. As usual, I'll be working in FL Studio. However, what we're going over today is going to work in any DAW that you choose, as well as using a real live mixing board. So to start off, I've got a track loaded up here, and I'm going to play it back for you as it sits. And we've programmed everything, mixed a little bit, and all the drums, however, are pretty much all down the middle or very close to being centered. Let's listen. Now, it doesn't sound bad, but we really want to make sure that we get a nice, wide, big, full-sounding mix. So in order to make it sound real, we need to think about what a drum set actually looks like. And we want to make sure we look at this from the perspective of the audience, not the actual drummer. So when you're in the audience, you have your kick drum in the middle, that's centered. Your snare drum is slightly off to the right. We want to find our snare, and we're going to pan it just a little bit right. I'll be doing my panning within the contact player that I'm using here. If you were to assign all your instruments to a different mixer channel, then you'd be able to do your panning there as well. So let's take our snare, move it slightly to the right, not too far, just enough to get it away from center. Some people like to leave snares centered for extra punch, but that's really not our goal in this particular tutorial. Then we'll take a look at our hi-hat. Our hi-hat sits slightly farther to the right than our snare drum did. And then we're going to look at our crash. For the sake of width here, I want to put it to the left, opposite of our hi-hat. That out pretty far, nice and wide. Usually with your drums, you don't want anything panned hard left or hard right, simply because a drum set isn't that big. You usually have your guitars out on the left and the right with your drum in the middle of the mix, while still being separated. After we've taken care of our kick and our snare, our hi-hat and our crash, we want to take care of our toms. Our small tom sits slightly further right than our snare drum does. We have a medium tom. The medium tom is going to be off to the left, about the same amount left as our snare drum is to the right. A little bit more if you want some extra width. Then our low tom, going to send pretty far to the left, but not as far as our crash cymbal. Let's bring it in a little more. Alright, let's play this back by itself so we can hear how our drum mix sounds, make sure everything is spaced as we want it, and then we'll play it back with our music. Sounds pretty good. We did miss that snare roll. Let's get that panned. Slightly right, like our snare drum is. Alright, now let's play that back with all the instruments there and see how it sounds. And there you have it. Slightly wider, slightly bigger, much more realistic drum set. As always, every mix that you have is going to be a little bit different, so how far and where you place your instruments will be totally up to you, but this right here should get you started. Thank you very much for tuning into this episode of 5-Minute Mixing Tips. I hope it was helpful to somebody out there. Don't forget to leave a message in the comments, subscribe to the channel, click that little like button, and check out AttolloStudios.com for more tutorials to download free instrumental beats, as well as a whole bunch of other cool stuff. If there's anything particular you'd like me to do a video about in the future, please let me know.